Layering is a technique used over the top of your base coats and shades in order to build up the colours on your model and to make those details stand out. Now the layer range is really good for this because the paints themselves are quite translucent and go on really smoothly, and the colours themselves are quite gradual in their transition. Now we're going to show you two different methods today on how this works. The first is layering in its purest form, and the second one will be edge highlighting. First of all, we're going to show you how layering works, and we're going to do this on the cloak of a Stormcast Eternal Sequitur, which we've already base coated with Cantor Blue and washed with Nuln Oil. We're going to be giving it a layer of Altdorf Guard Blue, and the reason for this is it's quite close in its colour to the Cantor Blue that's already on the model. I'll take a little bit with my medium layer brush, add quite a bit of water to this to thin it down, and then on the back of the cloak, now we're just going to add layers of Altdorf Guard Blue to the model, making sure we're sticking to the raised areas like so. Try and use as long strokes on the paintbrush as you possibly can, because that will help the paint go on a lot smoother. And with the layer of Altdorf Guard Blue applied to the raised areas of the cloak, you can see the folds are really standing out and that detail is popping. Alright, then let's have a look at our second technique, which is edge highlighting. This is literally applying a lighter colour or highlights to the edges of your miniatures in order to make the details stand out. It works particularly well on armour plates such as Space Marine's power armour, so we're going to show you how it works on a Space Marine Intercessor. We've already undercoated our model with Macragge Blue and recess shaded it with Nuln Oil. So we're going to take our small layer brush here, get a little bit of our Calgar Blue, which is the paint we're using for this. When you're using an edge highlight, it's really important to make sure the paint goes on really smoothly. So thin it down quite a bit with water, and also we want to make sure the layer brush we're using has a nice point on it. So we're going to make sure that we're just very lightly touching it on the palette like so. Then on our Space Marine, we're going to just take the layer brush and just apply it very carefully to the edges of the Space Marine like so, making sure we're only picking out the edges of the armour. Be very careful with this. The thinner the lines, the better it will look. So try not to make any mistakes. It will take a long time, but it will look great when it's finished. And the edge highlight's been applied all over the miniature now, and you can see the blue armour is really standing out. So there we go. Those are the two methods of layering we use when we paint our models. Key things to remember here is to always thin your paint with a little bit of water to help the paint flow really smoothly onto the model. Only paint the raised areas or edges of the model to help pick out the detail, and always try and be as neat as you possibly can. Happy painting!